What if the world could only be saved by lying to it? What if peace required deception, order required suffering, and harmony required that millions never be allowed to choose? What if the greatest evil wasn't chaos, but someone deciding they knew better than everyone else? This is not the story of a tyrant who rules through fear. This is the story of a mentor who rules through wisdom, a man who teaches balance, while quietly rewriting destiny itself. This episode marks the first chapter of Arc 6, Mandate of Heaven, an arc about villains who believe order is sacred, destiny is earned, and freedom is a liability. This is the philosophy of Master Li, from 2005 role-playing game, Jade Empire. This is Beyond the Villain, where we unmask evil, one story at a time. And today, we begin Arc 6 by examining a villain who doesn't conquer through armies, gods, or monsters, but through design. Master Li enters the story not as a villain, but as a savior. He is a legendary martial artist, a philosopher, and a teacher who has withdrawn from the world to train a single student in isolation. To the people of the Jade Empire, he is a hero who once stood against corruption and tyranny. To his student, he is a father figure, wise, calm, disciplined, a man who teaches restraint, humility, and balance. Master Li speaks constantly about harmony, between body and spirit, order and chaos, destiny and duty. He frames the world as fragile, always on the verge of collapse if power falls into the wrong hands. And crucially, he presents himself as the man who understands that balance better than anyone else. But this wisdom hides a deeper truth. Master Li has not withdrawn from the world. He has been rebuilding it from the shadows. The turning point of Master Li's life occurs long before the game begins. Once, he stood alongside the greatest heroes of the Jade Empire. Together, they overthrew a tyrant and saved the land from devastation. But in victory, Master Li learned something unsettling. The people did not change. Corruption returned. Chaos resurfaced. Power shifted hands. But suffering remained. To Master Li, this revealed a horrifying conclusion. The problem was not the ruler. The problem was choice. The world was too unstable to be trusted with freedom. And so Master Li reached a decision that defines him forever. If the world cannot choose harmony, then harmony must be chosen for it. Master Li's goal is not domination, it is permanence. He seeks to create an eternal order, a world where suffering is minimized not through compassion, but through control. He manipulates political factions, resurrects ancient powers, and engineers events so that destiny unfolds exactly as he intends. He does not crave worship. He does not demand loyalty. He demands submission to design. In his mind, this is not tyranny. It is responsibility. Master Li does not see himself as evil. He sees himself as burdened. Where others enjoy freedom, he carries the weight of foresight. Where others act on impulse, he calculates outcomes decades in advance. From his perspective, free will is dangerous. Emotion is destabilizing. Democracy is chaos disguised as virtue. And so, he lies. He manipulates. He sacrifices. Not because he hates humanity, but because he believes humanity cannot be trusted with itself. If the world is broken, someone must decide how it should be fixed. Master Li embodies a powerful and dangerous philosophy, authoritarian harmony, the belief that order is morally superior to freedom, and that stability justifies deception. This worldview blends political authoritarianism, Confucian order without compassion, utilitarian logic stripped of consent. To Master Li, suffering is acceptable if it prevents greater chaos. Individual lives are variables in a larger equation. Harmony is not something people choose. It is something they are assigned. Master Li's thinking echoes Thomas Hobbes, who argued that without strong authority, human life collapses into chaos. Solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. To Hobbes, peace requires a leviathan, a sovereign powerful enough to override individual will. Master Li becomes that Leviathan. But unlike Hobbes, Master Li removes the social contract. The people do not consent to his rule, because consent itself is seen as unreliable. There is also a distortion of Confucian philosophy. Confucius emphasized hierarchy, duty, and harmony, but rooted them in moral virtue and benevolence. Master Li keeps the hierarchy. He discards the benevolence. Order without compassion becomes quiet violence. The counter-philosophy to Master Li is moral agency, the belief that individuals must be allowed to choose, even if they choose badly. The protagonist represents this philosophy. They are not perfect. They hesitate. They fail. But they insist on one principle. A peaceful world built on lies is not peace. It is a cage. The hero rejects the idea that destiny can be engineered without consent. They argue that suffering caused by choice is still more human than peace imposed by force. Where Master Li sees chaos, the hero sees growth. Where Master Li sees weakness, the hero sees dignity. A world without choice is not harmony. It is obedience. History is filled with leaders who believed freedom was a threat. Colonial empires justified conquest as civilizing missions. Authoritarian states framed censorship as protection. Dictators promised stability in exchange for silence. In every case, order was achieved. And in every case, it came at the cost of humanity. Master Li forces us to confront an uncomfortable question. How much freedom are we willing to sacrifice for security? In moments of crisis, pandemics, wars, terrorism, societies often accept expanded control in exchange for safety. Surveillance increases. Rights shrink. Authority centralizes. The logic mirrors Master Li perfectly. This is necessary. You wouldn't understand. Trust the system. Case studies. Emergency powers that never expire. Governments that suppress dissent for stability. Institutions that prioritize efficiency over dignity. These systems often begin with good intentions, but intentions do not prevent abuse. Control is always temporary until it isn't. Master Li teaches us that order without empathy becomes cruelty, stability without consent becomes domination, and destiny without choice becomes erasure. So is Master Li evil? Or is he a tragic product of a world that proved freedom could fail? If you had seen endless war, if you believed chaos would always return, if you truly thought only you could prevent collapse, would you let the world decide its fate? Or would you decide for it? This is the terror of Master Li. He is not mad. He is convinced. This brings us to political existentialism. Jean-Paul Sartre warned that denying others freedom is the ultimate bad faith, refusing to accept the uncertainty of human choice. Master Li cannot tolerate uncertainty. He replaces it with design. And in doing so, he transforms responsibility into domination. The 20th century offers countless examples. Technocratic regimes that valued efficiency over life. Revolutionary leaders who became tyrants for the greater good. Systems that sacrificed millions to achieve ideological order. Master Li belongs to this lineage, not as a monster, but as a planner. Master Li is not dangerous because he loves power. He is dangerous because he loves order more than people. His intent is stability. His outcome is oppression. And that is the central warning of Arc 6. Philosophy without compassion becomes tyranny. Wisdom without humility becomes control. And harmony enforced from above always shatters from below. The cost of perfect order is the death of choice. So let me ask you, was Master Li right to take destiny into his own hands? Or was he dangerously wrong to believe harmony mattered more than freedom? Leave your thoughts in the comments. This has been Beyond the Villain, where we unmask evil, one story at a time.